Alright, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the latest review video on the Charles Media Pod. Thank you for joining. Please subscribe, follow the channel. Any thoughts about this video review, leave a comment down below at the end. So I watched Death on the Nile. This was a solid suspense drama mystery. The timeline at the beginning of the movie is questionable. It's a royal melodrama throughout until the first killing. Then the case of tension builds up from there, where it's solid enough to like the film with twists, surprises, and unexpected developments. This is directed by Kenneth Branagh, who is also playing the role of Hercule Poirot, a Belgian detective. While he's on an Egyptian vacation, he has to go search for a murderer when a picture-perfect couple's honeymoon is tragically cut short when the young heiress was murdered. In the opening scene, they showed almost 10 minutes of Poirot's younger self, how he became the world's best detective. So they made a little presentation of Poirot's background. That's a nice little added segment in the film. The timeline of this film is controversial since Death on the Nile is a sequel to Murder on the Orient Express. Because the year was 1934 during Murder on the Orient Express. At the very end of that film, the British Army messenger asked Poirot to investigate a murder on the Bloody Nile at the conclusion of that film. The year in Death on the Nile took place in 1937, so the gap between the years between those two films have holes and kind of misguided and flawed in that sense. But I really like the beautiful shots and scenes of Egypt and on the Nile River. It showed the great scale, the Nile River, such majesty, magnificent views, shot of the pyramid. I enjoy how the film presented that scale of Egypt, Nile location with gorgeousness and elegance. There were many characters in this movie, just like the previous film. It's a lot to handle, but you recognize the main or big ones in this movie: Poirot, Book's mother, Lynette Wisray, played by Gal Gadot, Simon Doyle, Jacqueline de Belfort. It has suspicion around Simon and Lynette because it seemed people were envy of them, especially Jackie was jealous of those two. Since Jackie and Simon previously engaged, later Lynette swooped in with her beauty and married Simon. As they're enjoying their honeymoon vacation in Egypt in a luxurious way, Lynette was very concerned and she didn't feel safe around her surroundings, particularly to Jackie. Jackie was the biggest shadowy, mysterious antagonist in the movie, and the rest of the characters, some had clear description, and some others were sort of unclear in terms of their general description. Finally, you get into the whole narrative and story flow of the movie. It's much more slow, kind of sailing through the plot as you wait before the first turn of the incident. You kind of cruise during some of the sceneries where the characters were enjoying their voyages and interactions. Once the first killing happened, it gets going, and it was a shocker who the victim was. It put a knot into my stomach and couldn't believe who the first victim was. Then Poirot does this way of investigating the murder, getting the clues, evidences, questionings around, suspicions and doubts among the characters grew. More twists and turns after the first killing. It gained more complexity and surprises as the story goes on. That made it further intriguing. At last, at the end, you might have sensed who the murderer was, but the surprise was how the whole murder planned out to deceive everybody and ultimately ends in major bizarre fashion. So timeline of how this movie began was controversial, from Murder on the Orient Express to, in this one, Death on the Nile. Well-rounded cast. I really like the overall beauty of the film's setting, beautiful shots, sceneries, landscapes, and views. The totality of the story going and development was slow going and steady until the midway point when the first killing occurred. From there, it escalates methodically with shocks, twists, and unhoped surprises. The suspense and mystery soar deeper of who is the killer and what more will happen among the characters and some of the developing outcomes after the first killing. I summed up as this was better and could have made it much more interesting. I give it a good enough 3-star because this was solid enough to keep you aware and hold the intrigue and attention of the way in which uncovers the murder case with enchanting Nile River, sweeping deserts, and the majestic pyramids in Egypt as the main setting. So there you have it. That's my review on Death on the Nile. What do you think about it? Please leave a comment down below. Thank you for watching. This is Charles Media Pod. Please subscribe, follow the channel. I'll talk to you guys later, and take care.